everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Studs podcast and YouTube channel. Before we get started with our episode today, we just want to dedicate this episode to Juan Arias. He was from Johnston, Rhode Island. He passed away this week in a car crash, and we wanted to dedicate this episode in memory of him. And our thoughts and condolences are with his family. So, thank you. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Studs Podcast and Studs YouTube channel. This is Big Mike over here, weighing 195 pounds, coming in from the University of YouTube. I'm a graduate of absolutely nothing, life. But anyway, that's me. In the left corner, weighing probably the same, maybe a little less, 180, maybe 175. We got Mr. Louie Sassa, graduate of New England Tech University. And we got in the other corner, weighing... Oh, you're overweight, aren't you, Keith?
Yeah, I weigh 170.
70, you're so overweight. Anyway, in that corner, weighing 170, graduate of Rhode Island College, is a Bachelor of Science in History, Mr. Keith. What's up, Keith?
Not much.
And doing good. And graduate of Burrillville High School, weighing 130 pounds. And his phone number 401.
No.
is Erik, special guest Erik. He's only got 2 more episodes left on here. Let's get into it. Last Dance episodes 7 and 6. No, oh my goodness.
7 and 8.
7 and 8. I had it right. Episode 7 and 8 this past Sunday. I'm gonna get right into mine because honestly, I didn't have a lot of takeaways. I didn't get to watch it. I mean, I watched it live, but I just didn't get a lot of takeaways from it. My biggest takeaway is to prove myself that I was wrong. Last week, my prediction was that Scottie Pippen was going to be portrayed in a great light, that he was going to be the ultimate guy. He could lead the team in that first year, 94-95. They had a great year without Jordan. A great year in that regard because they didn't have Jordan. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. That was so wrong. He was the biggest loser to me in this episode. What a loser he was in that final second of that game. I understand the contract and not wanting to play and feeling underappreciated during the last season, but you come on, man. Like, you don't get the ball and you quit like that? Oh, man, I'm sorry. Like, I lost a lot of respect for that guy. I still think he's the ultimate player. But, like, well, boy, was I wrong. I thought this was going to be a positive Scottie Pippen episode. And to see him do that, to quit on that team because Tony Kukoc had it, he's probably mad because Krause likes Tony Kukoc. And Krause has that real estate like we talked about last episode. And he just, he's a basic, he's acted like a diva. Like, you don't get the ball, still play. The contract talks a different story, but the teammates being all sad and everything, like, of course, like, I've never heard of a story like that before, where a player just said, "Yeah, I'm not going to come in. You're not giving me the ball. I'm done." Thoughts?
Just to comment on what you said, I feel like Kyrie Irving would do the same as well.
He's the reason I wear number 11. I want to be the reason no one else will.
One thing that really stuck with me personally was just that that I showed Keith this earlier, but that MJ quote when he was talking about his love for the game and his passion for the game, that was pretty cool to see. Basically, to paraphrase, he was like, I went through all this rigmarole and all this pain pretty much, and I'm gonna set a level of standard for all the rest of these guys. These guys are gonna come in and screw around, and we're gonna play hard. And if I was a tyrant, so be it, but I held up everybody to that standard, whether I was nice or I was a jerk about it, whatever. I wanted to win, and he brought all his teammates around to win. It was pretty cool at the end where he got very emotional. He said pretty much he broke that scene. He said break, which was pretty cool to see, but he teared up a little bit during that, so that was cool to see that inside of mind of a legend for sure.
Continue.
All right. Yeah, I mean, so going back, my biggest takeaway, we talked about before in the last episode, I think, about seeing more into Jordan's personal life. So I just think seeing that, the role that his dad had on him, the influence that he had. I mean, after his dad died, and you know how the media spun it to a degree where like they were blaming Jordan, and Jordan was obviously devastated. And they talked about how Jordan's dad wanted him to play baseball, and they were talking about Jordan retiring, and his dad was just like, do it, want to play baseball, go for it. So he was the main influence, behind Jordan going to play, minor league baseball, and obviously when he came back from retirement, later on he wore number 45, because he was nervous, because when he came back, this was the first time he was playing, without his dad, and he wanted to be reminiscent of that and market it for a special occasion. He said, 23, I can't do that just yet, 23 is what I was wearing when my dad last saw me. So he changed it to 45, which I believe he said was his high school jersey.
Yeah, my biggest takeaways were kind of the same as Keith and Louie's in that I think Jordan's father played a huge role in what he did. Really, when he played basketball and in him choosing to play baseball and fulfill that childhood dream. And I just think that, I didn't really know that Jordan, I guess, was that close with his dad. And, he was super emotional, with him just not being there. I thought that was really, a big moment in the documentary, I feel. And the other thing, the whole competitiveness that he showed really during that comeback season in 95, 96, I thought that was super interesting just to show. And I think one of the quotes Steve Kerr said was Jordan was foaming at the mouth that season when during training camp. He was so ready to get back into it and really get the team back to where they once were.
Your thoughts before I get what was your thoughts on the conspiracy with the NBA suspending him and how everyone jumped right on the episode, the first 15 minutes, and said, that didn't happen. We didn't do that. He quit on his own. He stopped on his own. What's your thoughts about that?
I mean, personally, I'm not gonna jump on that conspiracy wagon. I think that with everything that they showed, I'm gonna go with that. Obviously, the loss of a parent is devastating, and if they, by what they said, Jordan had a good relationship with his father. So I think that leaving to go play baseball was completely up to him.
What's your take on it?
The one thing is, what makes me believe what he's saying is, he wanted an escape from the game, and I feel like baseball kind of gave him that after the stresses from the media, and also the stresses from losing his father. So I think that makes me believe that, okay, this guy really wanted to step away from the game for a little bit.
Eric?
Yeah, I think he was genuine in his decision to leave the NBA and go play baseball. And even I think Jordan even said it in their last conversation with his dad. He said his dad said oh yeah, definitely go play baseball. Because I remember Jordan was saying that he had thoughts, even going back to when he was on the dream team of playing baseball, and he wanted to make it happen at some point.
If you're holding something in, if you ask me, do I really like you? And I'm like, oh, well, no, I like you, it's just this and that. I feel like when you're lying and you plan to lie about something, there's always that one thing that comes out of your mouth that you didn't mean to say, but comes out of your mouth that you didn't want to say. And there's one line from his press conference where he says, later on down the road, if the desire comes back, if David Stern lets me back in the league, then I'll come back. I completely believe the conspiracy. I believe he was suspended, and this was one of the best ways. It was able to fulfill his needs of wanting to go play baseball, wanting to get away from the game, because at the end of the day, MJ was their biggest star. Okay? MJ was their biggest star, and the last thing they wanted to do was to suspend him and let everyone know, yeah, you're getting suspended. The NBA has suspended Michael Jordan for 18 months for gambling. That's the last thing they wanted to do. And this plan benefited both because, again, Michael Jordan made the Bulls and made the NBA way more money probably than MJ earned back himself. And for him, they said, go play baseball. Go get your urge out to go play baseball, even though you're not really great at baseball. Go play baseball. We're going to wrap this under, come back in 18 months, ready to go. And it matches up when BJ Armstrong's like, yeah, we went out to breakfast. He called me up, and I'm like, hey, come over. Come play. Come practice with us. I believe it completely. I really do. I think you can plan a lie all you want. Something's always going to come out of your mouth that you didn't mean to, no matter how much you're lying, how much you plan to lie. I think he was suspended. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys soon. Big Rick, do we have you back next week for our final 2 episodes?
You will.
Yes.
You like that?
Yes. Maybe your brother will let you join in the webcam.
Maybe.
He's gonna get his own.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, have a good one, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Peace.